Hello and welcome back to Factorio. We are in Exotic Industries and we are nearly out of power. So I'm not quite sure what the absolute reasons for this is, but you can see I've got 12 high capacity turbines producing 4.8 gigawatts. And we're producing another 4 by steam turbines. However, back of the envelope calculations tell me that I should be generating a lot more power. I'm then had a message through Facebook when the episode where I built this was put up by a Facebook subscriber, Nicholas Con 1776, who pointed out my ratios were way off. And by way off, like completely, entertainingly, massively off. So let's go to... One of these babies consumes 600 units of the superheated stuff. One of these produces 15. Yes, I only have 3 of these, and I have a crap ton of these. So, yeah. So what I should have had was 15 of these to 6 of these. Is that how maths works? So I think we need a better ratio build here to see if we can squeeze more power out. So let's start off by just pasting some things down. Now these pass steam through, but we still have to get power. We have to cover them with a power wire. So we are kind of limited to something 4 deep. Yeah, it looks like we're limited to something 4 deep. There we are. Alright, so that's 8 of those. Okay, let's rate this out. So 2 of those to 8 of those. We're slightly under for steam. Let's try again. Okay, so that's roughly on ratio. So that would be... That's roughly 1 to 2, which I think is... Yeah, it's 12 to 15. Maybe that's a better build. Maybe 1 to 2, although it's not perfect, would be easy to manage. And easy to manage is really what I'm going for. So... I could do something like this, or I could turn this sideways, go there. The other option would be to have 2 of these. I'm not sure the right way to do this because of how pipes work. Would be to have 2 of these feeding 5 of these, maybe. Let's have a play around. But I want to redo these to get a lot more power out of our nukes. And then once we've done this, I'm going to walk through my base and show you some of the work I've done in between episodes. Because it's quite a lot of stuff. It's no new builds really, it's just a lot of shuffling and moving things about. Okay. So we need water, don't we? So I need room at the top. So I think we're building to the bottom. And this is in the way. Let's have a look. Have we... Yeah, we're not using these pipes anymore because I managed to mine this out. That's good. Okay. So I am actually wondering if I should go for this really simple... Something like that. And then go for several copies of it. Whether or not to leave a space. Okay, so that would be obviously not to ratio. But how not to ratio is it? Like, could I add another couple of... Let's have another go. I'm just wondering how many more turbines I can fit and get it to behave. Oh! That's actually perfectly ratioed. Okay, so maybe this is our build. Maybe this is our build. Okay, so there's a... If this is what we're having, let's find a nice way to fit it into the footprint we have. So that looks quite nice, doesn't it? We need power. Okay, that powers up all of the pumps, all of the turbines, sorry, and then we just need power to these things. And then I guess we need some pipage. Okay, so let's use the temperature-proof pipes because I don't want to blow the pipes up. Okay, then the water can use just pipes. And we'll underground it. I thought this was going to be a really horrible, time-consuming job, but it looks like it's not. Here we go. Does this need to move up by one tile? I don't think it does. Alright, so that's half of the build. Then we would need an offshore pump, which hide by the mining drills to confuse us. There they are. Good. I think we can put these there to finish the power up. What I'm going to do is copy paste this whole thing out. I'm going to decommission one of these and replace it with one of these. In fact, what I'm going to do is commission one of these, then decommission one of these. I think I'm going to move the power generation out a cycle so we can put more of the reactors themselves in the middle. Okay, so then we have two lots of pipes here, and I'm going to be doing all of this with heat-proof pipes. And we need a requester for hot and a provider for cool. Okay, so that's going to be something like this. Let's get some underground. There we go. The volumes are identical, so there's nothing to be won here by having the higher volume pipe closer. That's just not going to really be an issue. And this little stretch here, doing it with overground pipes doesn't really reduce the number of fluid boxes. So there we are. I think that's it. Yeah, all right. So what I'm going to do now is dump in a truck. We need to set the recipe, obviously. Whoop, dump in a truck. I don't need two trucks. And what I'm going to do is remove a truck from here and get ready to decommission this. And then if this works, I'm going to paste these all the way around in a ring, and then we'll look at expanding our power generation to match. Now, if this was working at full pelt, it would be consuming 6,000 liquid lead. If this was running at full speed, this would be producing 18,000. So I could have 3 of these for 1 of these. Let's have a look. Okay, so this is more efficient than that at 9,000, 1,800, 9,000, 1,800, 9,000. And this consumes 6,000. Okay. So, yeah, ratios clearly are not my strong point at the moment. Yeah, it's not my current superpower. Okay, this mining drill did need a pipe. So we're going to botch one in. Good. Now, I really want this cleared up, right? I particularly these ones that fall outside. And so I had a plan for that. First of all, let's upgrade this. There we go. Okay. So, quite a while ago, I installed a mod called Belt Box Stacking. Okay, so this is running. Let's have a look. Is one truck sufficient to keep it running? I think we need to just look. Okay, so that's empty already. Is this okay? Yep. So the answer is yes, that does run. Okay, so we're going to take this. I'm going to stamp down one here. So that's 2 of them. 3, 4, 5. I should probably stop stamping so that the ones which are stamped down build, shouldn't I? Okay. What else? So our research is finished. I was doing make work researches because I didn't want to do anything interesting off cam. But we're going to do this one. Black hole exploration. That looks pretty cool to me. So let's start that research. Oh, we're absolutely mashing through it. Okay. Quick look. So, a couple of changes. All these rocket silos, I have removed the speed beacons. Because of these productivity module 6s, there was a speed penalty of over 80%. And even with the full rack of speed beacons, it didn't get it back above the minus 80%. So the speed beacons were just a waste, and they cost something to run. So I've got rid of them. Most of these rocket silos are now standing proud, which means 2 things. We are producing products for the rockets faster than we can actually launch rockets. And then because they're very slow, I've had to put down multiple rocket silos for the science-related things we need. So Novice Orbit Satellite, for example, we now have 3 of them. And I'm just going to keep doing this. As we don't have enough of the result of launching rockets, I'm just going to put down another silo. And we will slowly start filling up this whole area. Okay, we've done our black hole research. What does that black hole machine? That looks fun. Let's get one of those. Okay, and have we unlocked any things? Okay. Holographic black hole. So that's obviously to make a black hole marker somewhere. Have we got any extra black hole exotic age technology pack? Okay, so that takes black hole data. So I'm assuming we need to launch a rocket to a black hole. Well, that sounds fine and dandy, but that's going to be a job probably for the next episode. Today, I really want to focus on the issues we have with mining out areas. Okay, so first of all, this is doing the protium lithium process, and this makes 1,800 lead per minute. This one is the tritium process, and it makes 9,000, so that's obviously vastly better. Which one is this doing? 1,800, and why is it not running? Because it's backed up with product. Okay, so we're not consuming the coolant fast enough. So that's basically the problem, isn't it? So these things should be running low now on lead. Are these... Okay, it's just going to take a while to burn the steam. So what I want to do is get all of these running around the outside, decommission all the ones on the inside, and then probably put up some new nuclear power stations in the middle. We also have just amazingly efficient power generation using, is it helium? Let's have a look. There's a product we get from mining, I think it's moon rocks, helium, that gives us just amazingly good burn. Let's have a look. Okay. Is it helium-3? I'm trying to find the combination that... Yeah, so helium-3, if we then go for... What is the combination that does it? There. Okay, so helium-3, if we go for high temperature, high injection rate, we get 20 gigs of power, which is insane, right? It's a 50% efficiency rate, but it also doesn't give us any neutrons, so we can't charge any canisters. Right. If we drop the injection rate right down, we also get no neutron flux. Okay, so I guess it's going to be a case of playing around with these to get good combinations. I think what I'm probably going to do though is slap down one of these once we've got helium-3 being processed, and switch the others over to something which has a very high neutron flux. That may be the way forward. Anyway, we are still building these. That's going quite well. So I think let's take that. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to spam these down now because we've got several running. I can't spam while talking apparently. There we go. And I'm going to start removing the trucks from all of these inner power stations. So that one's gone. This one can go. This one goes. And this is the last one? Yeah, that's the last one. Good. Oh, Black Hole Machine is not running as a research. Okay, because it needs the Black Hole Exotic Age Technology Pack. Fair enough. So let's do some more make work researches. We can do... I'm looking for Insane Reach. There it is. Okay, I don't want... Let's get rid of that for now. I want to probably increase swarm safety, shell range, projectile damage, mining productivity, and robot speed, and lasers. Okay, that fills up my research queue. Good, so this will all get built out. The next thing is, yes, we were going to do something with making this mining a bit more manageable. So let's just come over here. So this is a very big warehouse. And I have, what are they called? Stacking. Let's have a look here, see if we can find the machine. No, it's not there. Yeah, the Express Containerization Machine. Here we are. Okay, and what you can do is set a recipe for this, for it to stack items. So in this case, I want to stack sulfur chunks. There we go. So what this does is take a crate and a sulfur chunk, a lot of sulfur chunks, and packages it into a sulfur chunk container. Okay, so that's straightforward there. And then it needs a requester. In fact, if I nudge that over one, we can try and keep everything within silhouette. So then I need a requester chest, and we're going to set this to crates. Good. So crates would come in here. We would fill this with sulfur chunks, and then it would put the crated sulfur chunks into this box. And I'm not sure the best place to do this. Okay, let's grab it for now. I kind of want to fit it in here somewhere. Yeah, this isn't the neatest build, but it will do. It will do. Okay, and then what I want to do is just feed it. Okay, and there's no power in this build because everything runs off drill fluids. So this is the only output. Okay, so I can't just pipe from there. That's frustrating. Okay. So the idea is these troublesome mines here and here, we're just going to mine them into this crater, and you see it's stacking up to loads, and eventually it will have loads, and then it will dump them all into a crate, and then the crate will be put in here, and then later on I can uncrate them. So I'm imposing myself some rules, right? Because obviously crating done like this is OP. I'm only using it for clearance of resources from building areas. I don't think it's polite to use it really for anything else. Right, so if we do that, then I can take a splitter here. Can I bring another belt in somehow? This is going to turn into proper spaghetti, which of course is why we're here, right? I kind of want to get into this area somehow. Maybe I can get into this area. Okay. I can win one tile there. There we are. So is that everything moving? Yes, it is. Good. So all of the mining is now happening at full speed. And it's all going in here, packing up. And then eventually a crate will go in here. I've got the settings on the stacking set to something a bit silly because I just want to compress materials. But I don't want to delete them. Yeah, so we'll stick with this for now. Right, what's the next thing? Are these running? Okay, so the ones which are built are running. And if we look at the power situation... Okay, so we are now... Are we good for power? So we could generate 31 gigs if everything was running full speed. I kind of want these to bail. Yeah, it's just going to take a while for these to bail, and I think the only way I'm going to remember that is by putting on some delete me map markers. here. Here, I find the map marker system a bit clunky. It's obviously never really had the love that some other parts of the game have. Understandable. Okay. Alright, so those need to be deleted in good time. And then I think we're going to do the same thing we've done here. If we head over to Chiba City, we want to build more rockets, lots more rockets, which means we want rid of this coal, because this coal very quickly is going to become where our rockets are meant to be. So this is on the ground coal, so we need a mining drill situation. Okay, so if I grab that's a mining drill. Good, and I'm actually going to go sacrilegious and pull up the road network here. Do we have anything in my inventory that I can use to pull up road? Yes, we do. In fact, can I? Yes, I can. Good. All right, so I'm just going to pull the whole thing up. And across to there. Do I need to go across to that far? Not sure. Okay, and let's take that out as well. And then we need to think about where we're going to put the coal storage. So I think I don't really want to dump it into this rail station area, but I also don't want it to be in any of these 6 units here, because they're eventually potentially going to be full of rockets. So I want to dump it down in one of these down low, don't I? All right. So let's get my Is that correct? I'm not sure that is correct. Let's try again. That's better. Okay, so let's grab that. And can we go in any of the gaps? I'm just trying to get good coverage with the mining. Those can go away. Okay, what's up with water? Okay, I think we can fix that with some landfill. I think I'm going to landfill in here as well. Good, and then let's do the same. Is there a missing triplet here? Yes, there is. That can go. And then I think red belt is probably insufficient, don't you? So let's... did I not pick up the power pole? I don't think I've picked up the power pole for this. Okay, let's take that away. We are going to upgrade everything to blue belt, which is quite expensive, but I think we're at the stage in the game where who cares? Good. Do I have any blue on me? Yes, I do. Good. And then I'm just literally going to pipe all of these into loaders, into crating machines. And I'm going to try and figure out how to put in all of the power poles which I missed. through my own silliness. Okay, it may be a case of needing to paste this all down again in a minute. Let's go there, then I guess there's power poles there. My further reach is starting to pay off. So the next gaps are here. Good, and then there's some gaps here. I'm out of power poles. So it looks like I'm going to have to blueprint them in. Right, I'm not sure absolutely every possible power pole is required. But I guess it doesn't hurt, does it? So extra power poles hurt in this game when they prevent power poles from connecting properly. But otherwise they're just, you know, a mess. An annoying tangled weave of mess. Okay, up to there. Is everything running? No, we have a few that aren't. Okay, I'm just popping in extra power poles where I see things flashing with a no power signal. Awesome. Alright, so if we grab what we had here. We've done a crate. Well done. So if I grab this bit, where do we want our crate stash to be? I think well out the way, right? So here somewhere. So I want to thread these belts. And how many do we have is a question. Missing one here. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this all needs to move down a bit, doesn't it? So I don't have to have compressed belts, right? I just need the material being ripped out of the ground. So I'm going to move belts down potentially as partial belts. And then they're all going to be dumped into crating machines. And I will put... I'm happy to have crating machines running under speed. Okay, that goes there. That goes there. That goes there. Good. This is very expensive on belts, but it's, you know, it's one of those things where we get all the belts back again. So it's not like they're getting burnt up. That fits really neatly. Good. Okay, so I want that to go into this area here. So let's. How wide are these? Looks like it's 4 wide. Okay, and how many belts do we have? 9, which obviously is not quite 8, is it? Okay, I think what we can do is... we could run it down by the side here. Five, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that would be 8. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So we'll run this here because it's neater. And then at some point I need to go back and find out why we are not getting our belts in. I'm going to guess that we have hit some kind of production bottleneck. Good. Okay, let's take all this up myself. Okay, those of you who can count will notice that I said that we were taking 8 belts, and will have spotted that we have 9 belts. I'm going to merge this outside belt with this outside belt somehow. Okay, so probably the easiest thing is to merge it through here. That's it. Alright, then I need a splitter, balancer, whatever they're called. There we are. Okay, and then a wiggle like that just to keep the belts moving. Okay, so we're not getting our belts through. Let's carry on painting the belts down. Okay. And try and figure out what's going on. I have the belt snapping turned on, which, yeah, is usually useful and then occasionally is just outright annoying. Alright, so I think if I have 2 stacking machines, each with 8 inputs. Good. There. Okay, and then they can both put into a single warehouse, which I'm assuming we will just never ever fill this storehouse. I just don't think we'll ever have enough product the way that I've got these set up. Alright, so if I take that with the corner, I can start stacking these. Go. And then it's easier to drag with blueprints. There we go. Right, so all of this needs powering up. I can go. And that goes. Good. So let's have a quick look at the production stats for belt. It says there's 0 production for belt. Okay, that's an interesting... I hope I didn't misspell belt. That would be embarrassing, and I'd probably have to then delete the entire series for being rubbish. Let's head over here. Alright. So we started off the production chain for belts pretty early on in the factory. Apparently we didn't. Okay, I wonder where we actually do make belt then. There's red belt. Okay. So there's nothing wrong with making the red belt. We're backed up on it. So it's the blue belt we've got trouble with, and that probably requires lube, so it'll be over here. Alright, so what's the issue? Blue belt requires steel mechanical parts. Okay. And steel mechanical parts is running at full speed, but we don't have the steel. Okay, let's have a look. Why do we not have the steel? Here is a steel ingot smelter. It's all running as fast as it can, and we just are not getting the steel. Okay, so this, on our task list forever, we've had new steel recipe, and we just never got around to doing it. So I guess that's prioritized this. Anyway, today we've done a couple of things. They both make work. We have started to transition our power over to a ratioed build, which is just a lot better at producing power, obviously. We've started to decommission these steam turbine areas. That can go. In fact, do I have... No, there's not even anything in the cool lead, so that can definitely go. Yeah, we've started to do this. Then, in addition, we have started to pack up our ore into stacking belt boxes to start clearing areas of ore where the ore is in the way. We've unlocked black hole research, and so two quite important things are we need better steel and we need to look at black hole data. I think both of those are something for tomorrow, so thanks very much for watching. Please like, subscribe and tell your friends, and I shall see you again very soon. Bye-bye.